Let's practice with using just endpoints of things like the diameter or just the equation of the circle with points to see how we can calculate the equation. So we have to write the equation of a circle whose diameter endpoints are at these two coordinates. So let's sketch a quick graph. We have the point 1, 4 and the point -3, -2. So something roughly like that. So our diameter is going to stretch straight across like that, which means our circle probably goes something like that. So that's roughly what our circle looks like. Now we need to find the equation for that circle. Few things we need for the equation. We need the center of the circle, so some point somewhere around there, and then we need the radius. So we need the distance between that center and the endpoint. So let's go ahead and start by finding the center. One thing we know about the center of a circle is it's also going to be the center of the diameter. So if we know the endpoints of the diameter, we can find the midpoint of these two values. The middle of our x's first of 1 and -3. We can add 1 plus -3 divided by 2, and that's going to be -1. And in the middle of 4 and -2, we have 4 plus a -2 divided by 2, and that's 2 over 2, which is 1. So the center of our circle is -1, 1, and that matches up with exactly where it looks like it is on our picture, so that seems like a pretty reasonable guess. Next thing we need is our radius. So the distance from the middle to either endpoint. So let's go ahead and just pick that one. So the distance between -1 and 1 is 2. So 2 squared plus distance between 1 and 4, the two y coordinates, is 3. So 2 squared plus 3 squared is 4 plus 9, 13. So the radius squared, the distance squared, the radius squared is 13. So now let's write the part that we care about, the equation of the circle. We have x minus our x coordinate first, and we said our x coordinate is -1, so we really have x plus 1 squared. Then we have to do our y coordinate, y minus our y coordinate squared. And we said our y coordinate here is +1, so it would be y minus 1 squared. And that's going to equal our radius squared. And we said here our radius squared is equal to 13. So x plus 1 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared equals 13. Below that, we're given a circle with this equation, and we need to determine if each point is on the circle, inside the circle, or outside the circle. The way you do that is by looking at just the first part of the equation here and plugging in your point. If that point is, or if the value of this is equal to the number on the outside, in this case 16, then you know you found a point on the circle. So equals is on the circle. If you found something that's less than that, then you're finding something on a smaller circle, which means it is inside the original circle. So if it's smaller than, it is inside, because it would be a point that falls on a smaller circle. And if it's greater than, just the opposite, it falls on a bigger circle, which means it must be outside of this circle. So we'll use that right here and plug in our values. First one is the point 2, 4. So 2 minus 1, we plug it right into here. I'll write it out for the first one. 2 minus 1 squared plus, then we have our next coordinate, the y's, and so our y is 4, and it says plus 1 here, so y plus 1, so 4 plus 1 squared. And when we see what that equals, 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1 squared, plus 4 plus 1 is 5, so 5 squared. So 1 plus 25, it's going to equal 26. And we're going to compare 26 to our original value of 16. 26 is going to be bigger. That means that these points, the point 24, falls on a larger circle, which means that it falls outside of the original circle. So outside the circle would be our answer for the first one. Second one, points on the same circle again, so use the same equation as above. And we have 2 minus 1, so 1 squared, plus 2 plus 1, so 3 squared. 1 squared plus 3 squared is going to be 1 plus 9, which is 10. And 10 is smaller than 16, so 10 being smaller than 16, we're going to say that it falls inside the circle, because it falls on a smaller circle. So inside. And then our last one here, see if this one will land right on the edge or not. We have x minus 1 squared, and that's going to be 1 minus 1 squared, so that's 0 squared. Plus we have the point y equals 3, so 3 plus 1 squared is 4 squared. And that's going to be 0 plus 16, which is 16. And 16 is the same as this here, it's equal, so it is on the circle.